Right now, I'm sitting with an entrepreneur, a businessman, a well-accomplished architect, engineer. We really want to just dive deep into the mindset that it takes to be a successful entrepreneur and business owner and the steps that it takes to get to that level. So without any further ado, John Clark, introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, appreciate it. So my name is Jonathan Clark. I'm originally from Huntsville, Alabama. Went to school at Tennessee State University, DTSU in Nashville, HBCU alum. Spent some time there, graduated, lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, worked and played out there for a little while, and has been in Atlanta since about 2018, 2019. So I've kind of made this my home now, at least for now. Not sure where I'm going next, but just here, man, building business. I've got a great team and yeah, just willing and open to share whatever I can.
Okay. So I got off rip, I want to ask you a pretty curveball question. So from working at Kroger to becoming the CEO of Community Solutions by Design, what motivated you to pursue a career as an architecture engineer?
So I'll piece those two together. I would say first off, from working at Kroger's, I started as a bag person, bag boy, whatever you want to call it, and did cashiering, and then ultimately went up to customer service. I think those things kind of really taught me a couple of soft skills that any entrepreneur, any business person needs to have is first and foremost people skills.
Right.
Customer service is just literally about solving people's problems. And that's what I do as an architect and engineer. And as a business owner, I have to solve problems for my business to survive, to continue to survive, and then just building rapport with people that's a big thing. That's something that I picked up because you have to. It's so funny, man. We're in this technical world, and at the end of the day, you got to talk to people, and you can't hide behind a text message or email all the time. And that's that's what most people like to do now, but. It's when I was cashiering or I was bagging, I was getting a chance to actually talk to the customer, So I think those two aspects really kind of tied it all in together. But the actual drive from that to being an architect, it has a little bit to do with my story and then some key people that I met along the way. So like I told you, my family grew up poor, and I have 3 other siblings. And at that time, we were sleeping in the same bed in the same room. I got 3 brothers, so my parents, man, they did what they could. They did what they knew, and we lived in a small town, small county in Alabama before I moved up to Huntsville where I grew up. But it was really, man, just kind of seeing my mom struggle. That was the biggest thing for me. I always wanted to just, please my parents, man, and just kind of pay them back for how they sacrificed, right, to try to make sure I was taken care of and my brothers and stuff. So at that point, I had really promised my mom, I was probably, I don't know, man, I was probably 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I can't work right now. So it was at some point, man, one day I'm gonna build you a house. That was my literal exact words. And not knowing really what that meant, what I was really saying, I really wanted her, deep down, I just wanted her to own something. She never owned a house, today she's working on owning a house now. But at the time we were moving around a lot, and my parents had they rented a lot, And I just saw my mom work hard, and I was just man, it'd be great for her to she was talking about owning a house all the time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So for me, it was just this is probably the best gift I can give my mom, man, is get her a house.
Right.
So I kind of vowed to make that my mission, sort of kind of. And so I went from there to high school, and I had a real key person, man. One of my electives, I won't call him professors in high school, but one of my teachers. So I went to Bob Jones High School in Madison, which is right outside of Huntsville. And he taught this new thing called engineering concepts.
Right.
And so our class was the first cohort, I guess that was piloting the program or whatever to see if the money that the state was giving the school was going to help basically create more engineers and architects, basically what the program was about. And man, he really just had an effect on me from his personality. Like he really seemed like he cared.
Right.
He was really engaging. And shout out to all the teachers out there, because I know like the real ones, man, they is not getting paid enough for all the stuff they got to deal with. And so when you find somebody that actually cares, about your well-being, man, like sometimes they can be more influential than parents, And so he told me, man, like, hey, you want to look into this thing called engineering and architecture? Like, you seem like you got a knack for it. Mm-hmm. And I did. So I listened to him, applied to some schools, man, and kind of the rest is history.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing that a teacher can really have that much of an impact on somebody's entire career path.
Yeah.
So how do these concepts of unity, the power of spoken word, and the mindset apply to your professional and personal life right now?
Man, it's huge. It's like the Weather Channel. It's like when you get up and, for those that watch the Weather Channel before they go out, like it's a forecast of what the day is pretty much going to bring you. And so therefore, subconsciously you prepare for the day based off the forecast. Yeah. And it's the same way, man, with the spoken word and the mindset. So like you create your own forecast, right? And everything else in your life, like, kind of follows suits and prepares itself for whatever forecast that you give it.
Right.
And so you can only live at the level at which you speak, man. So like, I kind of made a mantra, like, when I get a household, family, all of that, like, we're not using the word can't. Like that's all, like, you know what I mean? Like that's like worth getting a whipping. You know what I'm saying? We're not using the word can't. And so, just stuff like that, man, I built my mindset to make that like the foundation of like how I grow. So, mindset, just being solution oriented.
Right.
Not to say that problems don't exist or try to ignore problems, but it's just like when they come, acknowledge them, acknowledge your faults. Like failing is okay. The only way that you succeed, man, is by just failing forward, like failing a lot and failing fast.
Right. Because
you learn, right? But it's all about like the perspective of how you, like, which you fail, right? Are you failing with a negative attitude or are you failing with a positive attitude? That really determines like, how you grow. So mindset, spoken word, I kind of just talked about, and then unity, man. Like I think unity is probably the most, if not like the absolute, like most powerful thing, because it's like, man, if you can take just a few people and get them all on the same mindset, right? And it's like, man, you can do so much with so little.
Right.
And many hands make the work light. So It's like, if you can unify and get behind a mission or a forecast, right? To put everybody's resources together and like work as a team. Cause like, I'll say it like this. Each of us have a certain skill set. Like I'm good at something that you may not be, and vice versa, right? And it's meant to be like that, because that means like I need you, you need me, right?
Right.
And so we all trying to like go get to the same place, and we can help each other. Then like that unity, man, like can't nothing stop that.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's power in numbers.
Yeah, like, I mean, but not only numbers, but numbers all go in the same direction.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Break that down, because a lot of people think that just having a big team is like the key. Or
so it's a lot of stuff I picked up along the way. There's certain laws and rules and all this kind of other stuff, man, that's like, just because you have numbers don't mean you have unity.
Right.
So, a lot of, and you've seen this, like going back to school, when you be in these groups, right, these group projects, say you have 5 people, man, only 2 people doing the work, like for real. And there's like the third person that look like they doing the work. They pretending like they doing the work, but they not really helping. It's just that it's to make them feel good and justified, right? So it's like the unity is about, you gotta have like all wheels turning together. You can't, like, what I'm saying, you got 4 wheels on a car. You got numbers, right? But if all the wheels trying to go in a different direction, car going nowhere.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So
got to be going in the same
You got to be
direction.
going the same direction at the same speed.
Right. Okay, I like that. I like that. With your personal well-being, including better eating habits, mental health, and, meditation, or, just kind of taking some time to yourself or prayer.
Yeah, that's super important because just for the simple fact, man, like trying to do this is very stressful because, first of all, when you're trying to do something better in life, it's usually not a lot of support, so like that within itself is a challenge for some people just to kind of break away and be different and take a chance. So it's a lot of stress that comes with that. It's a lot of, fear of loss, fear of criticism, all these sort of things, man. So how do you deal with that?
Yeah.
A lot of it is you have to continue to just feed yourself, man, good energy, and I do that by a lot of reading, like, reading from those who have gone before me. They may have been passed on, but still their books hold a certain amount of knowledge in there. It's almost like you sitting down and having a conversation like we're having now. And you only get that through reading, man. And, unfortunately, a lot of stuff that's on television and social media, is for entertainment, and nothing wrong with that. Entertainment is a good way to kind of loosen up a little bit sometimes too. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's like, just the knowing that I'm growing, man, like keeps me at ease. Right. It's like I don't know, man. I get antsy when I feel stagnant. So it's like as long as I know I'm bettering myself in some form or fashion every day, then I can usually live with myself.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And then the eating habits is important, because like health is real wealth. Honestly, you can have all the money in the world, man, but if you're not healthy enough to actually enjoy that, like what's the point?
Wow.
So yeah, I would just say. For me, and I'm sure other entrepreneurs and people that want to be entrepreneurs can kind of relate to this. Like, you're just constantly on the go. Your time is, people always constantly require your time. So it's like, when I first got into it, man, I was doing a lot of fast foods and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I just had to stop it. It wasn't making sense financially, and it wasn't good for my health, man. So just like awareness and consciousness, right, about like everything that we do is super important. So if I do go through a drive-through, I'm like, okay, let me get the grill option instead of the fry option, like just little stuff, man. And so for me, that's like helped to maintain my energy because it's just so much required, man, when you're an entrepreneur. Yeah.
So can you kind of go into that as far as how your mindset is on self-image and how somebody that's aspiring to, become an entrepreneur can actually become one mentally first?
So that's a great question. So self-image, it really has to do with like what we. So let me go back. So vision is important, and like representation is important because like a lot of times people struggle that if they've never seen it done before, it's usually hard to visualize it, right? So like I give a shout out, man, to people that have great strength in like how to create visions. Because that's again, that go back to like the forecasting. So I say like you can't live better than how you see yourself. There's two reasons for that, man. One, people are going to treat you however you allow them to, and the way that you allow people to treat you is based on your own self-respect, like your own self-worth. So if you don't deem yourself worthy for something, one, you're not going to strive for it, you're not going to try for it, you're not going to believe that it's possible. And you're just gonna settle for whatever people give you because you're gonna have a kind of a false sense of like, I should be thankful for the little bit that I am getting. You know what I mean? Versus like not being arrogant, but being like confident and being having like a desire and a stride to like strive for greater, man. So I would say like it's super critically important to get that right because like. If you don't get that right, there's something called self-sabotage. So it's like if something did happen like phenomenally, right? Like you would actually subconsciously mess it up for yourself because you feel like you don't deserve it. So a lot of that has to do with like how do you build your self-image? A lot of that is like your ear gates and your eye gates. So like be careful what you watch, be careful who you listen to. Are the people that are talking to you, are they feeding you positive stuff? Are they building you up? Or is the stuff that you watching, is it tearing you down? Like is it like a negative connotation around it? Or is it something inspirational? Like, you know what I mean? So those things plant seeds in you, whether you know it or not.
Right.
And so if you're not careful, you like those things will subconsciously pull down your self-image. Or on the flip side, right, if you're having positive things go into your ear and eye gates, that makes it a little bit more easier to believe stuff is possible.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just about monitoring the things that you're consuming.
Yeah, and then just purposely seeking that stuff. Like you got to be able to, like you got to have a desire to want to do better, man, and to want to strive to do great stuff. Because then that gets your brain flowing on the how.
Oh,
like
okay.
you can't, like if you don't even have a destination, you know what I mean? Like you're not even thinking about how to get there.
Wow. Okay. Got you. So you have to kind of see the vision and then figure out how you're gonna get to that vision.
Yeah. I mean, the how part will come, but it's more so like you got to be able to like put the destination out there. Like you gotta have a mission or reason. You gotta have a desire that you're seeking.
Okay.
Desire can't be like that comes from God, man. Like that comes from just you wanting more out of life. Like nobody else can get that to you. You can't help somebody that don't want to be helped, right? So it's like, again, that's like a self-sabotage something. So if I try to help you with my time, my money, my resources, and you don't have a desire for it, you're not gonna do nothing with it. You're gonna automatically pretty much lose it. Right. So that's it.
Wow, man. Wow, that's super, super crucial. Hey, you guys definitely want to rewind that and soak in that knowledge. Yeah. So with that being said, this wraps up and concludes the mini podcast about mindset. But give the people a little bit of motivation, inspiration, and education to part ways with.
Yeah, man, that's a great question. Anytime I get asked that, I simply like to tell people, you are much greater than who you are today. Period. Now it's up to you to believe that or not, but just know, like God don't make no mistakes, man. Like there's so much talent and gifts inside of like everybody, and the crazy thing is the stuff that you're looking for is also looking for you.